All right, a very good evening to you. Many thanks for joining us tonight on the broadcast. You're watching KUTV Weekend Live. Let's take a look at what is going on in the country. But first, before we tell you everything that is going on, let's get an introduction.
This is Weekend Live with Anyango, Sylvia.
That's right, and our sign language interpreter tonight is Lucy Kiarie. Remember, this broadcast is also coming to you live on YouTube at KUTV News Kenya, and you can also engage with us on X at KUTV_Kenya at Anyango Sylvia KE. We begin. Now, Kenyatta University students and faculty came together today for this year's annual interdenominational prayer service to give thanks and celebrate the unity granted by God and Allah. This was to stress the importance of peaceful coexistence among the campus community, regardless of their different religious beliefs. A session of prayer service was held today at Kenyatta University main campus with students and faculty offering thanksgiving for God's blessings and praying for the needy and vulnerable. KU's Vice Chancellor Professor Washeki Wanjohi on her remarks applauded the impact brought forth by such engagements that overlook people's differences.
And so this service really is more than just an annual tradition, but it's really a spiritual act of unity, a spiritual act of expressing our gratitude to God, and an act and an event that allows us to just reflect.
The interdenominational service saw attendees pray for the entire university community, families who have lost loved ones, university management, the nation, the upcoming examination, and the final year students as they prepare for the future. Through the prayers, KU's Sheikh Abdullahi Banded, Father Boniface Kariuki, who is the Catholic chaplain, and Charles Mkoka, who is the chairperson of the Kenyatta University Christian Union, emphasized on peace, freedom of religion, and respect for all faith.
The idea of different religions coexisting peacefully, respecting one another, and living side by side in harmony. This idea is not something new. It has been part of human history for a long time. People from different faiths, Muslims, Christians, Jews, and others, have shared spaces.
All the time, when we are blessed, then we respond by giving thanks to God. Give thanks to Him and praise His name. This reflects the idea that gratitude, dear brethren, should be a reaction, a natural reaction to recognize God's goodness to us.
With a stress on gratitude practice, the university community was advised to uphold the spirit of Ubuntu, a reminder that I am because we are. Anyango, Sylvia, KUTV. Now, the Commission on Administrative Justice, popularly referred to as Ombudsman, has promised to push the Ministry of Health to address challenges facing implementation of the Social Health Insurance Fund, that is SHIF, that is spearheaded by Social Health Insurance Authority, that is SHA. Speaking in Kilifi after touring health facilities in the area to register grievances from members of the public and public servants, the Commission's chairperson Charles Orinda Dulo admitted that SHA and SHIF were facing teething operational challenges as many patients continued to suffer.
To a large extent, SHA is working, but there are certain teething problems that need to be addressed, and those ones are the ones that we are going to address to improve it and to be able to make sure that the Kenyan citizens get the health care, and especially primary health care. We have visited some hospitals in Malindi, and here we'll also visit them just to find out whether SHA is working, and where it is not working, we'll also make the recommendation. So we are combining that with our visits, and we'll be able to, when we go back to Nairobi, after visiting the 20 counties, we'll be able to advise the Ministry of Health on the challenges that the wananchi are facing in various counties with regard to the implementation of SHA.
You see, as a county, we resolved on we can't punish our people because of the teething problem. So everybody comes to the hospital, is treated, registered, and if they are not registered or they have a problem, because some of them, if you don't have ID card, you cannot be registered, but they still get treated. Those who have ID card, we know we'll claim later. But in the short term, we are suffering because if you don't get the returns. But I'm also glad to report that Kilifi had just received last week, I think 29 million. Between NHIF and SHAHA, we are owed about 210 million. So slowly we are claiming. We hope what the new minister promised of 14 days, it will work.
Now, hundreds of struggling students at the University of Embu can now continue their studies without fear of financial difficulties owing to the university's endowment fund. A total of 356 students have benefited from the 3 million investment aimed at covering their tuition fee and reducing dropouts. This is an increase above the 254 students who received 2.6 million shillings last year, demonstrating the fund's rising impact. Since its launch in 2018, the endowment fund has made tremendous progress in helping students in need. The fund's head highlighted that the initiative's major purpose is to remove financial barriers to education, guaranteeing that no student is forced to give up their academic aspirations due to lack of funds.
At the University of Embu, we have recognized and consistently responded to student challenges since the institution was established. Specifically, the university dedicates approximately Kenya shillings 2.5 million every financial year to provide financial aid to students in need. Further, the university has a meal assistance program where students who have challenges in getting meals for various reasons are assisted to access meals through a meal voucher system supported by students' financial aid allocation.
Because the endowment fund is a perpetual fund. In fact, we don't even take all the interest. We invest the interest and we share every year to see what can we give out and leave the growth still going up. The dream of 10B, if we get it and we are able to get 1B every year, then it means we can be able to give 10,000 students 100,000 each every year.
Now let's get a little bit of politics tonight. Former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua has blamed President William Ruto of allegedly attacking him in a church service in Mwiki, Kasarani, Nairobi County. Gachagua was ambushed by unknown goons after he arrived at the scene of the event. Luckily, worshippers overpowered the goons, calming the situation. Listen in.
Saa hizi ni saa ya siasa ama ya kazi?
After a successful Mount Kenya tour, President William Ruto has found himself again on the wrong side of his critics after today's attack on former deputy president were claimed to be organized by the state. Gachagua, who was under heavy security, was attacked just after arriving in the church, with goons storming in to attack him and leaders who accompanied him. However, calm was restored after worshippers overpowered the goons, allowing the mass to take place.
Ulinitumia goons Limuru kwa funeral, wakatuangaisha, tukasema ni sawa. The other December ukatutumia goons huko Shamata, wakatuangaisha, tukasema ni sawa. Last week ulikuwa umetuma watu huko Nyeri nje ya kanisa. Sasa umekuja mpaka umeingia ndani ya kanisa. Sawa, tulikuwa tunafikiria utapanga nje ya kanisa. But you have become bold. You don't care anymore that you are sending goons through the governor hapa ya Nairobi kuja kuangaisha kanisa la Kristo na kuangaisha sisi.
Taking to the podium, leader after the other criticized the current regime for fighting its own people, claiming that the attack were planned by key figures in the government to stop Gachagua and his team from addressing the public.
Governor wa hili jiji la Nairobi, hiyo tabia ya kumobilize vijana, hiyo tabia ya kulipa vijana 1,000 kwa sababu kuna vijana ametoa pale Soweto, na Soweto hiyo ni area mimi naelewa. Tuambie kama ni kanisa unafanyia hivyo Governor Sakaja, wewe jitayarishe na wewe nyumbani unaenda.
Walikuwa wametuma waje paka hapa wamtoe Rigathi Gachagua akiwa madhabahuni, ati wambebe juu na juu. Sisi tungependa kuambia hao vijana kwamba ni sawa.
President Ruto's visit in the Mount Kenya region was seen as a move to test the waters in the region, and now Gachagua and his allies seem to have questioned their popularity in the region, and according to Gachagua, plans are still on to counter President Ruto.
And I want to tell you, Rais, tafadhali, vile maneno naendelea hii Kenya, even if you eliminate Rigathi Gachagua, nothing will change. It will just complicate your politics more than it's already complicated. And we have enough soldiers to carry on with the struggle. You know, you may bring me down if that is what you think will help you, but we have enough soldiers here to carry on with the struggle. Mpango ya rais ni atumie hivi vijana yetu ya hii nyumba yetu kutoa vita, ndio na sisi tutoe vijana wetu wapigana na hao, atuchekelee Wakikuyu wanapigana. It's not that we are cowards, but we are just responsible people.
The political temperatures in Kenya continue to escalate with the recent events, particularly in the Justin Muturi response to President Ruto, and now the attack on Gachagua, highlighting the temperatures are high ahead of 2027 election. Edward Nyamo, KUTV.
Now, retired Chief Justice David Maraga has been called on to shelve his ambition for presidency in 2027 in favor of former Interior Cabinet Secretary Fred Matiang'i. This is even as the former Chief Justice insisted that the electorate should be left to choose. Speaking during a meeting that brought together members of Jubilee Party in Kisii County, Kitutu Churches South politician Daniel Ongoto said Maraga should protect the reputation he earned from his exemplary service at the judiciary, claiming he risked ruining it by entering the political arena. He insisted that Matiang'i remains the Jubilee Party's presidential aspirant in the coming 2027 general election.
Kinyang'anyiro cha urais hiyo ni udhani. Yeye mwenyewe hajajitolea na aseme anataka kiti cha urais. Maraga alifanya kazi nzuri katika judiciary, akailainisha, akamaliza corruption. So ile jina ya Maraga hawezi kubali kuharibu. Anaweza kuwa na haki ya kusimama, lakini kwa sababu mwenzetu ambaye ni Matiang'i yuko na mkakamavu, sisi tunaomba Maraga atulie kidogo, na yeye serikali, tukishinda serikali atatuadvise, kwa sababu Maraga ndiye anatakana kusaidia kama elder, tupate watu kama Kalonzo, tupate watu kama Eugene, tupate watu kama kwa Munyoro, ili kushuri tutembee safari pamoja. Ile serikali ya Matiang'i inakuja iko na kazi mingi, kila mtu anaweza pewa faa.
Now, on that note, we're taking the very first break on the broadcast tonight. Stay with us.
Ni nguzo na uso wa jamii. Kupanda shuka, akawa tuzo. Ukakamavu wake, ukatii, na kumfanya mwenye bidii. Kwa machozi na makeke, akabaini jinsi ya kuweni. Huyu ni mwanamke ngangari, kwa jinsi alivyo ng'ari. Mimi ni mwanamke mwake. Usikose kutazama kipindi cha mwanamke mwake, nami Caroline Kimweli.
Access to knowledge, solution to unanswered questions.
Guidelines to pursuing your rights and repossessing your property, intellectual or material.
This and more only on Law Matters.
You are watching Weekend Live with Anyango Sylvia.
Welcome back. Keep interacting with us on our social media platforms. We are live on YouTube at KUTV News Kenya, and you can also interact with us on X at KUTV_Kenya at Anyango Sylvia KE. Now, outrage erupted in Garissa County after a pregnant refugee died in a chaotic food queue at Dabab's I-42 camp. Activists from Garissa Civil Society and Human Rights Defenders networks condemned the incident. Speaking at a Garissa hotel, they demanded accountability and full legal action against those responsible for the tragic death.
A 28-year-old refugee woman, Hadija Nur Ali, died during a hunger strike at I-42 camp in Garissa County, prompting activists from the Garissa Civil Society and Human Rights Defenders Network who have condemned the incident. Abdiakim Shaurie, Garissa County Muuru coordinator, regretted that the incident was happening in the era, calling on the apprehension of anyone who will be found of sleeping in their job.
It is very unfortunate that we have many agencies working in the protection field in that camp that have not come out to condemn this issue yet. And it has taken now the efforts of other human rights groups within Garissa to first condemn this issue. WFP and the UNHCR agency and also the DRS. We want to know why they are not coming out to clearly put out why this happened in this era, given that they are the ones who advocate for the safeguarding policies, the do no harm principle, where they are supposed to put the lives of those the less fortunate, those are the expecting mothers, people living with disabilities, the elderly, and all these people.
Fatuma Badi, another human rights activist, took issue without failure by implementing partners to strictly adhere to the policy which states that during such an exercise, priority should be given to special groups like expectant mothers, the elderly, and people with disabilities.
Here to condemn the incident which has happened at the Dadaab refugees camp. As the women's rights defenders, we are saying that this case which has happened was not even reported, and it's very unfortunate for even our international organizations who are based in Dadaab, because how many other cases are not reported? Sexual and gender-based violence cases are just happening and they are not reported. We are here to condemn, and we want to tell you that we are coming for you without fear or favor. You will see us on the grounds, and we condemn this incident which has happened. And women's rights are human rights, and children's rights are human rights.
Abdi Wahab Ibrahim, Northeastern Regional Aid National Gender and Equality Commission, said that the commission will work closely with the security apparatus and the relevant bodies in ensuring that the matter is dispensed in court so that the victim gets justice.
It is very unfortunate that in the Dadaab refugee camp, where we all have the different protection actors, why were the protection mechanisms not followed? Why did the UN agency WFP at the highest level of the UN distributing agency for food items in the refugee camps, why were they not following the protocols laid upon in the policies?
The Garissa activists are now calling upon the UNHRC and the DRA, which is the mandated to protect refugees, to carry out a comprehensive investigation on this matter and submit a report on the status to why a 9-month-old pregnant woman was not given a priority. Helen Kiplagat, KUTV.
Now, the Senate Lands, Environment and National Resources Committee has urged the Ministry of Lands to prioritize the challenges of squatters' settlement of Coast Region residents. Speaking in Mombasa County during a fact-finding mission, the committee chairman and Mombasa Senator Mohamed Faki said there is need for sustainable solution that will provide residents with secure housing and improve their living conditions. He further stated that those seeking to evict squatters should provide an alternative land to settle them.
Zile ardhi ambazo zimetajwa tutawaita katika bunge la Senate waje wajieleze kuhusiana na yale madai ambayo yamezungumzwa hapa leo na wale walalamishi. Kama tunavyojua, mambo ya ardhi ni mambo ya very emotive na yanatoa hisia kali, Kwa hivyo ndio tukasema kama bunge la Senate na kamati ya ardhi na mazingira pamoja na mali asili tuje hapa on the ground kuwasikiza wananchi hapa. Ushaona. Kwa hivyo mbali na kusikiza hizo petition tumeweza kupata pia masuala kadhaa ambayo yako hai hapa. Kwa mfano kuna order ya eviction ambayo imetolewa na shirika la Kenya Pipeline kule sehemu za Chaani katika Changamwe constituency. Juzi tulimwambia county commissioner kwamba hakuna eviction ambayo itafanyika mpaka wale wananchi ambao wanaondolewa wapewe mahali mbadala ambapo watakwenda kuishi.
Seneti na sisi maseneta kama watu waliochaguliwa na wananchi ili tuwashughulikie, tumesikiliza masuala hayo, na nataka niseme kwamba nimefurahi kwamba National Land Commission wametoa ahadi kwamba chini ya miezi 7 kabla ya makamishna walioko kutoka watakuwa wamesuluhisha matatizo haya.
Now, in agribusiness tonight, Agricultural and Livestock Research Organization, KALRO, Director General Eliud Kigerger, has called on farmers to embrace new rice varieties, saying that this will address customer demands and reduce importation of rice, which has negatively affected rice farmers. Speaking at KALRO Center in Mwea, Kigerger highlighted that Kenya is importing 80% of rice consumed in the country due to low rice production.
In a bid to improve rice productivity and minimize rice imports in the country, the Kenya Agricultural and Livestock Research Organization, KALRO, Director General Eliud Kigerger, has emphasized the need for farmers to embrace new rice varieties and mechanize rice farming for efficiency.
To be able to increase the production in the areas that are cultivated, 1, we must mechanize for efficiency. 2, we must use quality certified seed. So one of the products of collaboration with IRI is the release of new varieties that are currently going to be available to farmers. I think from this season, you'll start multiply.
The KALRO Director General, who spoke at KALRO Center in Mwea during the introduction of 2 new rice varieties, indicated that Kenya is importing 80% of rice consumed in the country due to low rice production.
We import about 80% of the rice that we consume. We only produce about slightly less than 20%. I think currently we are production of about 250,000 metric tons roughly, and we are consuming about slightly over 1 million metric tons. So you can see the deficit is very huge.
Kigerger further emphasized the need to explore and invest rice farming in other potential areas, including Taita Taveta, saying that some of these potential areas are limited by the absence of milling facilities in the areas, remarks that were echoed by the International Rice Research Institute Regional Director Abdelbagi Ismail.
We need to expand to other areas. I know when we talk of rice, we talk of Mwea, we talk of Aero, we talk of Delangi. Nobody mentions potential areas, new areas like Taita Taveta. The potential in Taita Taveta for rice is huge. A lot of farmers are producing rice there, but because there are no milling facilities, that rice ends up being brought here or it crosses the border to Tanzania.
The worst thing and the most inefficient system is using traditional system for agriculture. And that is what is still happening here, especially in rain-fed areas.
As the call on farmers to adopt new farming technology remains loud and clear, the farmers are now looked upon to embrace these technologies in an effort to boost food security as well as deal with climate change. James Baraka for KUTV.
Now, the Migori County Chief Officer in charge of Environment, Disaster Management and Natural Resources, Dalmas Odero, has called upon farmers to utilize the April short rains to plant sorghum and millets that will be ready within 2 months to boost food security in the area. The region, which borders Lake Victoria to the south, experiences very short rains, making it difficult for farmers to cultivate long-term crops. Speaking during the sorghum and millet seed distribution exercise to 3,000 farmers from Nyatike sub-county in Migori County, Odero said that the sorghum and millet seeds will boost the agricultural activity in the semi-arid.
We want the seeds which will be able to enhance the lives and boost the economic status of our people in Nyatike. Again, these are drought-resistant crops. Even if we experience shorter rain, then it will automatically do well. And that's why we made a decision that we identify crops which will be able to help our people enhance their living standard.
We are taking a very short break. Sports is on the other side of the break.
Maelfu na maelfu ya wahamiaji wakiwa na watoto kutoka nchi za Amerika ya Kati wanaendelea kuwasili kwenye mpaka kati ya Marekani na Mexico.
The folks are going. Thank you very, very much. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Ni habari kutoka pembe zote duniani.
Pepopa si vuguvugu. Pepopa ni idea.
Tazidi ananyonya, hanyonyi vizuri, anakuwa hayuko comfortable.
Jeshi la Jamhuri ya Kidemokrasia ya Kongo linapambana na waasi wa ADF.
Kwa sasa wanatoa wito kwa mashirika, makampuni na vile vituo vya uchukuzi.
Mambo mengi yatakwenda kama yalivyopangwa.
Hapa ni kuna mmoja wa viongozi wa chama cha wavuvi katika eneo hili.
Zaidi tunajaribu kuwapa chanjo ili ina boost ama inanyanyua kinga ya mwili, hiyo inaenda kupelekea kupambana na virusi.
Ni dunia ni leo, Jumatatu mpaka Ijumaa, moja kwa moja kutoka VOA Swahili, Washington DC.
Tunakula usiku. Tuacha na break kwanza, tuende lunch. Chapo. Kama mokimo.
Rasha piga shada kuna giza. Sikinai tujinai siweke story. Kata maji pia shada liko nasio nikosa msupo si stress. Kama rende kisha basi nipe. Najua ni
Mama, big up, brother, ukiwa adriba, big up, sis, big up, shows, mama, big up, oya, wase wote, okay, my principal, big up.
Money me okoka, whatever me say no, I know, I know, dance me shika mashinani, kila choche kila mtaani, dance na leta burudani.
This is
Welcome back. Now in sports tonight, the national wrestling team is intensifying its preparations for the Africa Beach Wrestling Championship set to take place in Casablanca, Morocco from April 27 to May 6, 2025, with the Africa Beach Wrestling Championship just weeks away. The national team is focused on honing their skills and preparing to present Kenya on the continental stage. Speaking at the Mombasa Beach Tournament, national team head coach James Oriri explained explained that the competition is an important platform for scouting and selecting wrestlers for the famous continental event.
Today's program is just league championship. Clubs within our league, they are competing among themselves. From there is when we can get the best wrestlers that we can prepare them as we prepare for the national team. Wrestling is a very safe game, like beach wrestling. You don't require mats. You can start it wherever you are, provided you know the rules. And it has also weight categories, so it is safe. So we have got our calendar, which is being run with the Kenya Amateur Wrestling Association, and they are the one which are linking up with the World Wrestling Body to give us the program on what to work on. So we have got our teams all over the Kenya. So if you have got the team, if you have got our league championship, we honor and we bring players to compete among themselves.
Now that is it from us tonight. Just a quick update on the fixtures that the matches that were played today. Manchester United, which is the latest, playing against Man City. The match has ended on a 0-0 draw. For Fulham and Liverpool, Fulham sinked Liverpool 3-2. Brentford and Chelsea, the match also ended at a 0-0, and Tottenham sinked Southampton 3-1 today. So that is on for our broadcast today. Thank you so much for choosing KUTV News at 9 and for staying with us this far. Our sign language interpreter tonight is Lucy Kierie and Anyango Sylvia. Have a good night.
Maelfu na maelfu ya wahamiaji wakiwa na watoto kutoka nchi za Amerika ya Kati wanaendelea kuwasili kwenye mpaka kati ya Marekani na Mexico.
But folks, I'm going. Thank you very, very much. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Ni habari kutoka pembe zote duniani.
Pepo pasi vuguvugu. Pepo pa ni idea.
Tazidi ananyonya, hanyonyi vizuri, anakuwa hayuko comfortable.
Jeshi la Jamhuri ya Kidemokrasia ya Kongo linapambana na waasi wa ADF.
Kwa sasa wanatoa wito kwa mashirika, makampuni na vile vituo vya uchukuzi.
Mambo mengi yatakwenda kama yalivyopangwa.
Hapa ni kuna mmoja wa viongozi wa chama cha wavuvi katika eneo hili.
Zaidi tunajaribu kuwapa chanjo ili ina boost ama inanyanyua kinga ya mwili, hiyo inaenda kupelekea kupambana na virusi.
Ni dunia ni leo, Jumatatu mpaka Ijumaa, moja kwa moja kutoka VOA Swahili, Washington DC.
Are you an aspiring media practitioner, a graduate, or you just want to advance your skills in television production? Then welcome to Kenyatta University, where education meets innovation. KUTV, the premier university